Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I like that drum roll entrance. You guys tuned into the Big Buckets podcast. Today we got two thirds
Er,
of the trio. Got my man Marcus here with me tonight. It's a wonderful Sunday night. We had lots of basketball over the weekend, over the last since last time we talked, probably over the last week. A lot of shifting in the standings. A lot of teams exposing who they truly are. A lot of teams on the come up.
definitely,
Um,
definitely. Lots of good hoops this week, especially this weekend if you're a Lakers
right.
fan. So we're definitely going to get into that.
That's a good
Uh,
deal there. What episode
hasn't
are we
been
on?
episode for
Yeah, we're
this
not starting
season.
counting
This
things.
no, we do. This has got to be 9 of season
Let
7.
me think. Okay, right. Because the last time I remember was 6 and 3 cents. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So episode 9. What's the NBA landscape looking like to you, bro?
Oh man, it's not that much different than it was previously. Like obviously, it's only been a week since the last time we linked up, but things are looking more like how we anticipated. I know you were really big, like we just said earlier, on Minnesota not being a real threat in that Western Conference, even after the Gobert trade. They just lost Carl Anthony Towns for, I think it's like what, like a month maybe at least.
Believe so.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards is gonna got to be their first option, and I think he's pretty well suited to be a first option. But unfortunately, that team did get worse after the Gobert trade, it seems, because in the couple games without Cat, they Rudy Gobert, he actually had his first game with less than he had one rebound actually in over 15 minutes of action, so that's not good. You can't depend on him offensively. The Wolves are now 11 and 12. They are
They just lost
6 and
one.
4 in their last 10. They just lost their previous game. But yeah, they're slipping down. They're the 11th seed now, so they're not even a play-in seed at the moment. They actually sit actually just a half a game in front of the Lakers for that 11th spot. So the Lakers are 10 and 12 now, who are
Mhm.
actually 8 and 2 in their last 10. And another team that's been struggling, Chicago. They're actually 9 and 14, so they actually have a worse record than the Lakers right now. Um, they're sitting at number 12 in the East. DeMar DeRozan's had a great season. I know, again, another team that you were not really big on, the Chicago Bulls.
Right.
Why? Let me ask you this question: why are you psychic? Like, how did you know these teams were going to underperform or fall back to reality? Because
Um,
despite Lonzo Ball's injury, I still expected Chicago to be a top 5 to 7 seed in the East. So what's going on?
for me, honestly, well, it depends. Well, let's see. Overall, I would say when I look at those two teams, I look at who is the leader and the best player on the court, and how consistently can they be that and do those things. We don't know what the answer is. And when it comes to Minnesota, with Chicago, I've always said, and it's you know, you say what you want, but DeMar DeRozan can't be your best player. I've never been big on DeMar DeRozan. He's always underperformed ever since he came into the NBA. In all his years in Toronto, it was LeBronto, and nothing's changed. By going to putting on a different jersey, and so Lonzo Ball isn't going to help that at all. Just DeMar DeRozan just doesn't have that best player mechanics, and it's showing.
I might have asked you this before, but I'm gonna ask you again because I have a really bad
Hmm.
memory. If Demar can't be your best player, can Zach Levine be your best player on
Nope.
that team?
No.
So they need a whole different leader in that on that
The
team. That
best players that can lead the teams have already shown us who they are. Isn't there's not no one that's gonna come out of nowhere unless they've been in the league less than 5 years. and then that might be even pushing it. You are who you are, after about 5 6 years. So we know who the best player on the team that can actually lead you to significant success. Who those players are.
Okay, that's interesting. So,
Yeah, so
so if you're Chicago,
Zach Levine or DeMar DeRozan.
do you mind blowing it all up, shipping them both out, starting from scratch?
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't mind that because
Because why
what?
be in no man's land if you paying all
Yeah,
that
I
money
mean,
and why do that? Why don't you just start from scratch, enter the race
you're
for
gonna lose anyway.
Wembenyama or something? You know what I mean? Might as well.
Yeah, they're losing anyway. You can just tell. No, I mean, I mean, you're not when if you're playing the Chicago Bulls, you're not afraid of them. And it was last year. I don't know what the big hype was. I guess outside of them having that number one seed for that significant amount of time, but I myself wasn't worried about the Chicago Bulls. I remember they were like the number one seed or something, one or two. They played the Warriors and we blasted them last year, and it was like I already knew this was gonna happen. Just because of how I always felt about DeMar DeRozan. I always felt that way going back to Toronto. Because he just always came up short in clutch moments against LeBron. And that's not like people could try to say, oh, but it's LeBron James.
Right. I was just about to go that way.
Nah,
Like,
that's not the
can you give him a pass
answer.
maybe?
Nope, because they're so good against everyone else. But I always looked at it as that's just Toronto home court. But when push comes to shove, and you actually have some real like where you gotta actually like get um you gotta like get into your bag and like win basketball games. Him and Kyle Lowry and them was never able to do it. That's why you see what happened. No sooner they got Kawhi Leonard, same team.
Fair enough. I think he's. I think everything you said was pretty accurate, pretty
He's
correct.
a good
I
basketball
will
player.
give Demar this though. He's improved on what you said he lacks in the past couple of years in Chicago. Like there's been games that he has taken over and he's played really well down the stretch as a dependable leader. But I get you. Like he's not going to do that when it counts. In the playoffs, really when it matters. He doesn't really have a history of doing that.
And the
Lonzo
reason why
Ball is not doing you any favors on the bench.
and the reason why he's not gonna do that is because granted you said what you said, but you're looking at a small sample size. You're probably looking at a handful of
Oh yeah,
games I
not
can count
not
on hand.
even not even yeah, not even that many actually. Probably like
And
5.
and the only reason why it sticks out to you is because it's so rare. So when he does it, it's like I don't know, like human nature to root for the underdog or feel extra connected to something that is it's astonishing in my opinion. And I could be way wrong, but I feel like it's that. It's not like
I'll give you that.
I would say maybe there's a sense of luck behind it that makes it so like um alluring. And it's like, oh, it's just another day at the office. It- mm, yeah, I don't know.
No, I get you.
I could get on DeMar DeRozan all night, and
You're
that's the reason
you're
why the Bulls are the Bulls.
man, it's like you're like borderline hating. Like you're not hating exactly, but like you're almost there. But I you nothing you said is false. I'll give you that
Because let
though.
me ask you this though, because you said it's borderline hating, and let me hear your take then. Why the Bulls are the Bulls? The same question you asked me, basically.
Me personally, I think they need a change in the front court. I don't think it's the back court that's failing them. I think that they're doing their job.
Was
Um,
DeMar DeRozan a small forward?
Now maybe, but he's really a 2, right? Him and Levine kind of coexist in the backcourt. Desan if I don't know if I'm saying his name right, he's typically their point guard. If not, Alex Caruso. You got Patrick Williams. You got a lot of good names, good
So you
guys on
said
the team.
Sonmu and
Vucevic is my biggest concern with the Bulls, like
Sonu,
trade him.
you said Somnu and Caruso are point guards, right?
Typically, right? Yeah, they're usually in the
And then
rotation.
Levine would be the two.
Yeah.
So then where's DeRozan? Front court.
He's listed, but he's not
Only two
like
point
he's not
guards.
playing like those other wings, you know what I mean? Like you really got like 2, 3 guards out there
So
when
they're
you
just
play the
three
Bulls,
guards. Gotcha. No,
basically. I
I
mean,
feel you. I feel
but
you there.
but to answer your question though, I think they just need to get off of Vucevic. They gave up a lot to get him. Obviously, you lost Wendell Carter, who could have been a good plus for this team. You lost some draft capital. Best choice, best case scenario would be, ship him to a Western Conference contender, try to get something to break even or, damn near close.
Hmm.
Because he doesn't really fit well with this team. I think he needs the ball to be effective, and DeMar and Zach LaVine need the ball, obviously. So I don't know. I mean, Chicago just
What
extended
What do
Billy
you?
Donovan.
Let me ask you this though. What do you expect Vucevic to do when he's on the court? Like what? Not like what is Vucevic playing the best basketball for Vucevic look like in your opinion?
So what do you mean, like
So if
when
you're
is he
like
at his best?
coach, yeah, and you're like, okay, Nikola, I see this basketball player named Nikolai Vucevic. If you do these things, that's when you're playing at your best. Like, what does that look like for him? Because he's averaging 15 and 11 with almost 3 assists.
I need him to play kind of like a Kevin Love role in
Mm.
Cleveland. Like I don't need you to get those numbers, right? I need you to do the little things. I need you to get the boards. I need
He
you to
is.
play
He's
defense.
averaging 11.
He's averaging, but what does the eye test tell you when you're watching the game? Like when do most of those points come up? In
But
garbage time.
right, but if it's Vuce, if he should be the fifth option.
The fifth option,
Yeah, he's a center.
well, he should really be the third option because he's the third best player in the lineup, right?
Okay, third option, still giving you 15.8 points a game.
Yeah, I mean his numbers are good. It's just when I look at the Bulls,
Hmm.
he's the least productive out of the core that they have there, in my
He
opinion. Like
should be the third option. I just don't think it's his fault.
I'm not
Is all
saying
I'm
it's
saying.
his fault. I just don't think he fits well with what they're trying to do. I think the experiment's gone a little bit too long with him being in that
Really?
team, and I think they should have gotten off of it this summer.
Like who
And I
would
thought
they?
they were, but
Mhm.
apparently not.
Yeah,
Like I would
I
have liked
I
to see
like that move.
Chicago. I would have liked to see Chicago get in on the Gobert sweepstakes. Like I think he could have helped Chicago out a lot. I know we're gonna talk about Minnesota right now, and I know your eyes getting real wide for everybody that's not watching the video right now. But I think Gobert could have helped this team a lot, in my opinion. Obviously, what's going on in Minnesota is not a good example, but yeah, I think if you swap those two, like if you put Voos on Minnesota with Cat, and if you
Hmm.
put Gobert in Chicago with a guy like DeMar and guys like Levine and Lonzo, knock on wood, if he's healthy, the fit is better. It's kind of more similar to Utah when he was there with Donovan Mitchell. We just have an additional, scorer there to go with Zach Levine and DeMar DeRozan.
Hmm.
But I'd like to, obviously we're just playing the hypothetical game, but I would go for
Gobert.
somebody more defensive minded at that big man spot because Vucevic is obviously not known for defense, although he can play it and he can rack up the boards. So I don't know. Maybe they will trade him. Maybe they won't. There's some speculation going on right now. 9-14 does not look good, and Demar's probably the one because he's older. But I
Yeah,
wouldn't be
Vucevic
surprised
is
if
his 32.
yeah,
He's up there.
yeah, he's up there too. So we'll see. I mean, there could be some teams that want to get that contract under their books. So
What
We'll
is
see.
this? Let me see here. Oh, okay. Yeah, he is paid.
Yeah, that boy is
Good
paid.
basketball player. All to me, all those every European players, in my opinion, are good.
These are the teams
It
that
makes sense for the
Chicago.
NBA.
These are the teams in the East that Chicago has a better record than:
Hmm.
Orlando,
Hmm.
Detroit, Charlotte.
Let me see. I thought I had the what's
That
it called?
sounds terrible, bro. Like Charlotte, Detroit, and Orlando. Like that's the group that you are in.
Yeah.
And we both know that their talent, their everything top to bottom doesn't. Something the math ain't mathing, bro. Like they should not be this bad. The Wizards just lost to the Lakers. They're 11-13. The Knicks just beat the Cavs. They're 11-13. Miami started pretty slow. They're 11-12. And Brooklyn is the eighth spot, one game over 500 at 13-12. So the
Let's
East
look
is
at
pretty
these
tight.
games. The Bulls just lost to Chicago. DeRozan had 18. They lost to the Warriors. DeRozan had 16. They lost to the Suns. Yeah, 29. They beat the Jazz. They lost to the OKC Thunder. Yeah, 30.
Majority of these losses are blowouts too. Like the one game that was close, they lost to the Pelicans 115, 111. And I think they lost to the Magic by 108,
Yeah,
107.
they want to
Yeah.
be better. They're gonna need to have a player better than Zach Levine and DeMar DeRozan on their roster. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
See, that's where we disagree because I think Zach Levine can be that guy. It's just not the right time, I guess, with DeMar on the
Yeah,
team.
because I don't know when you've ever seen it. I mean, if you're talking about,
I've seen the potential. I just think when he was reaching that potential, they signed DeMar DeRozan, and that kind of, pushes him back a little bit as far as
what
development.
year did he reach that potential? So we can go check this out. What year was that?
That would be his first All-Star season, 2021, right?
21.
Because he didn't make it 2020. But I think personally, I started to see that in 2020, like what he was capable of.
So he was averaging about 25 points a game
Yeah, I mean that's
on
number
a
one option.
roster.
That's oh yeah. Let me get you the exact stats
2021, he was averaging 27 points a game. He played 58 games.
out of a possible 72.
Hmm.
Right? Yeah, they played 72 that season. 50% from the field, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 35 minutes a night. I mean, since then he's put up 23 points per game on 44% shooting.
24 points the next
So
game.
it's a bit of a decline, but I think that has a little bit to do with injury, obviously, and DeMar DeRozan taking a chunk of that offensive load.
Yeah, I
Um,
can I can see that. I just as long as he was averaging over 25 points a game, then nah,
yeah,
he's
so
you're on to something with that for sure. I like Zach Levine. I just gotta see it to believe it.
it's just
Um,
man, it's really situational right now. I
so
think
yeah, getting rid of DeMar DeRozan, not Vucevic. There's nothing you need from your big man
it's
in the
probably
NBA.
easier to get rid of DeRozan too, as opposed to Voos.
It would just be a luxury if they're able to get buckets, but I think Vucevic actually can. He just has to get put in the right position. But
His numbers would definitely go back up to that 20 and 10 number or closer to it if they get rid of DeMar.
yeah, he just can't. He'd have to take the backseat to Levine, and they'd need a point guard. Who knows? Because Honestly, I can't even say it's the point guard because as long as you move that ball around, that's all that truly matters nowadays.
Right.
It's
Donovan
just
definitely has that play style implemented, with a lot of ball movement. But I mean, it goes without saying that they're a worse team without Lonzo Ball offensively and defensively.
but it's like outside of DeRozan, they're in Vucevic, they're young. Their whole team is young, bro.
That's
They
true.
don't have no veterans, no solid veteran leadership out there. Caruso,
And like you said, if you
how old
can't
is
depend on
Drummond?
DeMar, how old is who?
Oh, he's 29. Yeah, Drummond's 29. I think Caruso. Oh, I guess they have Dragic. Caruso, Dragic.
I can't believe Drummond is only 29 years old. That's
Actually,
kind of
Caruso's only 28. I'm thinking he's like
shocking.
older. Just Dragic, Vucevic, and DeRozan are the only players
Well into the
over
30s.
30. Just over 30 in general. And I don't know who's the like locker room leader and even just floor leader. You know, that's kind of their issue, honestly. And like I said, so it can't be DeRozan. Levine can be a talent wise, but they would still need that locker room presence. And they need that dog. Every team has a dog. They don't have one.
They need that
So
Pat
theirs is
Bev.
just personnel. Nah, Lakers have LeBron. It's just no, it's not even entertain that.
All right,
Um,
enough about a
yeah,
losing squad. Let's talk about a winning squad. I mentioned it earlier. 8-2 in their last 10 games. Tonight, coming off a 44 point, 10 rebound performance against the Bucks. Lakers won that game. LeBron, Westbrook, AD all combined for 87 points, 26 assists, 0 turnovers against Milwaukee. Granted, it was Chris Middleton's first game of the season. So obviously, they're figuring it out with him back in the lineup. So they're not going to be in full form, but a really impressive win. They could have easily choked that game away. They end up hanging on to win. AD tonight against the Wizards, 55 points, 17 rebounds, 3 blocks. He only missed 8 shots out of 30. I mean, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc when he doesn't even need to be out there. He made him at least tonight. Didn't miss a free throw, 9 of 9. First Lakers since Kobe Bean Bryant, rest in peace, 2013 Kobe in March. Man, that was a great year for Kobe, 2013. Back to back 40-point games. Is LA back? Is LA officially, they're 10-12 on the season now. They're not 500 just yet. They do sit half a game behind Minnesota, like I mentioned earlier. But let's just give it up for Anthony Davis real quick and leaving the Lakers because it's been so refreshing to watch. Because we all know how frustrated it's been watching as a Laker fan the last couple of seasons. With the injuries, with the dysfunction. Right now, we have a really bright spot, and I'm hoping we can build on it. LeBron has gotten the team back, together, gotten his rhythm back. He quietly had a really great game. Excuse me, another 30-point game. Russ, for the first time in his career, by the way, had back-to-back games without a turnover, with any turnovers. So that's really impressive. He had 10 assists tonight to Anthony Davis. That's the most ever to one from one player to another during a game. And he had 15 on the whole game. So is it time? Like, are we gonna take off from this point? Do we still have some growing pains? Is the shooting gonna come back to haunt us? Do we still make a trade? I want to get your thoughts on my Lakers.
my thoughts. Um, told myself I was gonna be nice, but I just have to just ask, how'd you fix your lips? Just say, let's stop talking about the Bulls or losing team and talk about a winning team. And then brought up the Lakers.
A sub 500 team.
Y'all made it to the playoffs or the play in, but so I'm not gonna. We're just gonna put that there. We can talk about Anthony Davis's last couple games doing well. That's good to see. I've always been saying. I said if we're gonna have Los Angeles Lakers success, it starts and ends with Anthony Davis, and he has to nut up and play this type of basketball. There's nobody that can guard him. The Jokic, the Embiid, the Giannis, and Anthony Davis. Those four individual players should dominate every time they're on the court. He was, the last person to join the party, um, till these last couple games, and he joined it in a. That Bucks win was very, 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 very impressive. I must say that three he hit was so clutch. I was like, look at him, because if they would have lost, it would have been all for nothing. I was like, I can't believe they're letting him come back, because you guys had the, what I'm
We
saying,
had him
last
down
game.
big. Yeah, we had a
Let him
big
down
lead,
big, and
man.
then
And
they started coming back, and I was
I
like,
knew we were
oh
gonna blow it.
my
I
god.
mean, Will called it last few episodes. That's the best bet in basketball. If you bet on
What's that?
basketball, Lakers first half, that'll never fail you.
So shout out to Braun, because he hit those two clutch threes too. And I was like, nah, that's what Braun should do. That's Braun. That's what he's supposed to do. When AD hit
Bro,
that
that's what you're
one, I
there
think from
for.
the right corner, I was like, shout out to AD. Like I said, at 44 and what? How many rebounds? 17 or something.
10. No, he only had 10 boards against
Yeah,
the
44 and
Bucks.
10.
17 tonight against the Wizards.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: you said, I'm
I'll talk
mentioning,
Anthony Davis. I ain't gonna speak on the Lakers because
can he be
just
MVP?
a Dame Lillard less Blazers and a Bradley Bill less Wizards.
Oh,
But can
brother.
AD be MVP? He should be, especially if I feel like if the
27,
Lakers, if the Lakers
12,
make
3,
the
2, and
playoffs,
1.
not counting the play in, if the Lakers make the playoffs, I feel like he should automatically get it, because
Top 6 seed.
that's the biggest, like, from nothing to something jump, and the biggest imprint on it would be him. Granted, it might have took Darvin Ham to help bring it out of him, making him play the center, and him just staying healthy. That's the biggest, like, um, thumbprint on the Los Angeles Lakers being a playoff team. Obviously, if they are in the playoffs, I think he should win it, unless you count Patrick Beverly. Then
Let me ask you
m-
this.
maybe that
Um,
maybe it's more Patrick Beverly's fault that they're in the playoffs, but I would say Anthony Davis. So yeah, I would say so. As long as they make the playoffs, if they make the play in or don't, then no, obviously.
let's play the hypothetical game again. So
Hmm.
let's say Boston continues to be great. Tatum continues to be great. The Lakers secure a top. I'll go on a limb because just for the sake of argument, let's say they make a 4 seed. Anthony Davis continues this historic dominant season that he's had. With all that being said, you still taking that over Tatum for the MVP?
Yeah, Jalen Brown, bro.
Jalen Brown, man, he's
It's
been
hurting. It's
averaging.
hurting Anthony, but it's hurting Jason Tatum's case. Jalen Brown is balling. Um, so I
Yeah,
think
he
it's
had
gonna hurt
30 again tonight.
Tatum's case for being an MVP, because Jalen Brown balls. But you said if Anthony Davis was the 4 seed, yeah, he
Yeah,
wins
if
it.
they're a top 4 seed from this
Mhm.
crazy turnaround,
He wins
uh,
it,
wins
because
it.
I feel like the Celtics don't stay up there without Jalen Brown. Honestly, as good as Tatum is, he's the most talented and skilled, and he's the best player on their team. But they don't win as a team without a large, just as good impact from Jalen Brown. Um, whereas, like, in order for the Lakers to win, Anthony Davis has to be doing these numbers. So these numbers will continue if the Lakers are in the fourth seed
Right.
because they're not beating nobody without Anthony Davis doing this. So they'd be the fourth seed. He'd do that, and he'd be head and shoulders above what LeBron's doing. So yeah, I'd give him the MVP for sure. Hmm.
Fingers crossed. No
He's
jinxing
balling.
on our watch. Shout out to Anthony Marchand. Um, let's talk about the Pelicans. Pelicans got a win tonight over Denver, which is a high-ranking team in the Western Conference. They got the win without Brandon Ingram still, who continues to be out. Continues to hurt my fantasy team, but Zion did his thing. Trey Murphy did his thing. Jose Alvarado actually had 38 points tonight, if I'm not
Yeah, his
mistaken.
career high.
Yeah, career high. So shout out to Grand Theft Alvarado. That's what's up. The Pelicans are 15-8. Can Willie Green get this team to real contention? Can they be a top four seed in this Western Conference? Realistically, can you see them beating teams like Phoenix, your Dubs? Um, do you see them, or do you see them maybe a couple more years?
Let me see the stand. No, nah, they're not top four. Um,
Oh, they're not right now, but
they are.
do you
They're the
see them?
second seed right now, but I don't think they can be top four when it's all said and done. Um,
Oh, they are the second seed now because they just beat
yeah.
Denver. You're right.
Mm.
9-3 at home, 6-5 on the road. Yeah, I mean, four straight they've won, 8-2 in their last 10, like I mentioned. No Brandon Ingram, so
Standings.
Ingram back in that team, they just deeper.
Yeah, they
And I
Pelicans are
like
good.
Willie Green, man.
Like you said, they're deep. Um, I definitely like them now that Zion is healthy. Like you said, with no Brandon Ingram, I'm team Brandon Ingram for sure. That's a bona fide ball. I love everything about his game and his playmaking he brought. I just don't put him top four because of the other teams. It's not. It's you got to crawl before you walk. And for one, they played us. They got two of their wins was against us with no Steph, Clay, or Draymond both games, or Wiggins. Steph, Clay, Draymond, and Wiggins sat both times we played the Pelicans. So there's two of those dubs that easily would have been L's in my opinion. But we're not going to be here to talk about each other's teams. Um, Memphis, gotta keep them top four. I
You
really like
like Memphis more
Sacramento.
than New Orleans?
Yeah,
And you said Sacramento as well?
Sacramento's a sleeper. They're creeping. They're creeping. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know about top four. But they're just there.
They're probably just as hot right now, probably on the same level
As the
as
Pelicans,
the
they're balling.
Pelicans. I'll give you that.
Not big on Denver to be honest. So then we got Phoenix, we got Golden State. That's two.
Why are you not big on Denver?
Be
MPJ?
well, he's part of it because Denver they need Jokic to start the offense and finish the offense. And on top of that, that's not even your guard. That's like your big man. So he's having to step away from the rim. And also, I don't think he plays that much good defense interiorly. So they're just always messed up. So when it comes to a 4 game or a 7 game series, I don't. They've had the same team for the last 12 years, and they haven't done too much of anything. Don't they just have that mile high home court advantage? They don't. They don't. Like they don't do anything that scares me, in my opinion. That'll scare anybody. Like how the Pelicans, how we're talking about C.J. McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson. Shout out to Willie Green. Them being deep, they have something that can actually make some noise. Memphis Grizzlies have that Ja Morant factor that can, and just being gritty, that they can make some noise. The Clippers have, if healthy, never, but if goes so happen, you got the Kawhi Leonard,
Clippers have been
Paul George,
concerning past couple of weeks. We'll talk about them too. But
plus Ty Lue, and
so
then
you
you
don't
got
think Denver measures up to
nope.
par like
Then
with
you
those
got
teams,
Mavericks.
even with the
Nobody wants to
two-time
play
MVP?
Luca. Nah, nobody wants to play Luca. And then you got Portland. They're athletic. They're long. They play defense under Chauncey Billups.
You like
And then Dame.
Dallas?
Dame has been hurt.
You like Dallas more than Denver?
Yeah, you don't want to play Dallas. They just have to figure it out. I'd rather play Denver all day long.
I'd rather play
And then
Dallas.
the Lakers. Remember, they're gonna be 4 seed. So how can Pelicans be there if they're the 4? So and then the
Hold
Lakers, like I
up.
said, you got Anthony Davis, LeBron, Russell Westbrook. Like even though they're down there and it's gonna be hard, it's just all those teams I named. They have something that you just don't want to see. I'll take the Nuggets all day long. This is my opinion.
I don't like.
They're not doing anything that makes me feel like they're impossible to beat.
That's fair, but none of these teams really are, if we're being honest. Everyone has shown their vulnerability and their
When I
weakness.
say impossible to beat, obviously it's I'm not
Not
obviously
being
no one's
literal,
impossible.
right?
Yeah, it's figuratively in the sense of you have to beat them.
I'm just shook
But
that you think Dallas, or yeah, you think Dallas is
there's a reason why the Mavericks was in the Western Conference Finals.
Luca. That's the only reason.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I said when I didn't name nothing else outside of Luka Doncic on the Mavericks when I mentioned them.
Yeah, but that's not
But
enough though. Like
it
Luca's been
is. It's
playing
enough
his
to be
ass
better than the
off.
Nuggets.
He's been playing his ass off, bro, and they're 500. You know, like they're
They have
barely
11
500.
losses, right?
Yeah,
The Nuggets have 9. The Nuggets have 9. The Mavericks have 11. According to you, the Mavericks are ass. So then, what does this
I
make the
think they are,
Nuggets?
to be honest. Like
So then,
the
what does it
Nuggets
make a team that
play
has 2 more wins
because the
and two
Nuggets
more
play a
losses?
better brand of basketball, in my opinion,
And they
than the
still lose
Mavericks
though,
do.
and they still lose.
They still lose the same amount of games, it's fair, but I just think they're built to go further than Dallas. Like Dallas obviously blew out Phoenix game 7. They go to the conference finals. We know what happens against Golden State, but it sucks because Dallas is like a victim of Luka Doncic being so great because it's
Bro,
like they think he's so great that they could just, surround him with this type of team and then
okay,
he'll
let me
take
ask you
them
this
far
question.
enough. But it's not realistic. Like we
This
know
was
this
about
is
the
not.
Nuggets, not the Mavs. So I hear you on the Mavs.
You just got me pressed about the Mavs. That's all.
That's fine. I hear you. I just mentioned that I don't want to play Luca. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Nobody does. Nobody wants to play Jokic either, though.
Please. Bro, we played them with Steph Curry coming off the bench and was doing cartwheels and beat them in 5. Jordan Poole was doing backflips, bro. The Nuggets are weak. And listen, Jamal Murray,
Jamal Murray is gonna make a
Jamal Murray,
difference.
we beat them in 5 with Steph coming off the bench doing cartwheels. Jamal Murray wasn't making no difference. Not taking nothing away from Jamal Murray. He was not changing that. And neither was Michael Porter Jr. We beat them in 5 with Curry coming off the bench doing cartwheels the whole time. Nobody. That's just me. I'm not worried about the Denver Nuggets.
I'm not worried about them either, but I'm most definitely not worried about Dallas. Like if you can, I mean, obviously you're not gonna contain Luca, but if you can throw everybody at him and force him to get the ball out of his hands, force the other team to force everyone else to make shots, basically just do what you guys did
hmm
against Dallas. Like if you're able to implement that against Dallas, you get rid of them in 4 or 5 games in the playoff series. For
And all
being
you have to
honest,
do is play
Phoenix just failed to do
good.
that.
And all you have to do is play good basketball, and you get rid of the Nuggets in the same amount of time. Both of them be meet each other on the bus. What's up, Jokic? Oh man, what's up, Luca? No, I'm just kidding. As a matter of fact, bro, I think they played each other tomorrow, which is very
That'll be good.
ironic.
I think that's
Let
actually a
me.
good matchup. So
No, the Mavs play the Suns tomorrow. Hold on, let me check out
that's
Wednesday.
even better.
I think they play
They
Wednesday.
play Wednesday. No, excuse me, they play Tuesday.
To say, oh, so the Mavs play back to
The
back.
Mavs have a back to back. Damn, the Suns and then the Nuggets. That's tough.
They're gonna walk the Nuggets down. I'm mad that it's a back to back.
The Lakers are going to be in Cleveland on Tuesday as well. That's
That
going to be
gives
on
them
TNT.
that gives the Nuggets a first off. It's in Denver and it's a back to back. That gives them an advantage. It's gonna make me look bad.
Denver's going to blow them out. Be listening to this podcast next week and we'll be like,
Yeah,
damn.
so they're yeah. So just know that the asterisk is Dallas is playing Phoenix, and then have to turn around and go to Denver,
In
lose an
Denver,
hour
losing now,
in
yeah.
Denver. That's cool though, because Jamal Murray's gonna have 50, right?
Shoot, I mean, who knows? I mean, he could be listening to this podcast. I mean, I don't know.
I hope you're listening, Jamal Murray. Step your game up. I know you just came
Man,
off the
so
injury, but
all right, so let me
yeah,
ask you
man,
this
step
real
your game
quick,
up.
Quez. So, looking at the standings, because
Mm,
Denver's made it this far at 14-9. You said you like Memphis more. You said you like New Orleans more. You said the Clippers when healthy, obviously better.
hmm
You say the Mavericks as well. Do you say the Blazers with Dame and healthy?
Yep.
Yeah, so you're still on the
Dame's missed
Blazers
like 9
bandwagon.
games, bro. How many games has Dame missed? You know more than
Too
I do.
many, way too
He's
many.
missed way too many. They only have 11 losses. Nuggets have 9. So yeah, and then Golden State Warriors and those Los Angeles Lakers. They about to, you know, climb their way up from the bottom.
So
Denver's gonna
according to
find themselves
you,
in Cleveland.
Dallas is like a mid playing team, basically
Yeah,
borderline
Dallas
playing
will be in
team.
the play.
I mean, I'm
They're
sorry, not Dallas,
oh,
Denver. According to you, Denver is like a playing team. Then
yeah, Denver's in the play. And the only way Denver
interesting.
doesn't make the play is if Kawhi and Paul George stay injured and the Lakers go back to their losing ways. Other than that, yeah. So then other than that they'll be in the play.
So the Nuggets are mid. Like you're saying, the
Bro,
Nuggets are
yeah. They were
super
sixth seed
mid.
last year. They were the sixth seed last year.
I
And
don't
teams got
know,
better.
bro. I don't know. I can't definitively say that though.
Bro, if they were
Like I
six
think
last
Denver's
year,
better than Portland.
if okay, that's fine. If they were six last year and New Orleans got better, that just pushes them down to the seventh seed. And New Orleans is top six.
New Orleans is definitely better.
Right?
I'll
And
give
then
you
the
that.
Lakers are you just went from a losing Chicago team to a winning Lakers team. I mean, it can't be everybody in the playoffs, so that pushes Denver down. It
Just
is what
doesn't
it is.
sound right. Just doesn't sit right with me right now. I don't know. I don't know why it just doesn't feel right, but it's still kind of early.
Then when has the Nuggets been good?
The
What what's their
last
best
4 years,
playoff
last
appearance?
3 years,
All right, so last year, how far did they get in the playoffs? Let's just break it down for real.
first round, first round
Year
exit.
before that,
Year before that, second round exit, right?
to who? So
21 was it?
21 was the year
It
the Suns
wasn't the. Oh, it was the Suns. They got swept actually.
by the Suns and win
Yeah.
in the Western Conference Finals.
No, in the semifinals they got swept.
Okay, second round, swept.
That's
So they
bad.
lost in
Okay.
five last year, swept the year before that, the year after that. Then what? Bubble.
Bubble, they go to the conference finals. They lose in 5, right?
Yep,
To the Lakers.
yep. And to a team that ain't been there since. None, all jokes aside.
No, you're right.
So boom, there's that. And then the year before that,
2019.
yeah, that's
That was the Blazers series, right? Where Dame went fucking bananas.
Probably so, because the
That
Warriors
was,
swept
yeah.
the
I
Blazers
remember
right after that.
CJ. I remember CJ hit that game winner, that
Hmm.
floater. Yeah, I remember. So they lost to the Blazers, the Lakers, the Suns,
And the Warriors.
and the Warriors.
And we
And
swept the
they've never
Blazers that
been
year
further. They've never been
without
further than a
Kevin Durant.
conference finals. And the conference finals that they did make, they only played 5 games.
Man, you making it seem like I'm
They might
hundred
be. They
percent.
might be mid as fuck, bro.
They're mid. They make you get the ugly face when you hit the blunt. This shit
You
nasty.
got me reacting like that now. Like I'm considering Denver as an elite team because of Jokic first and foremost. I look at Jamal Murray. Porter Jr. has been fucking horrible. That's one of the worst contracts in the NBA right now. And Aaron Gordon, I mean, that's supposed to get me excited. Nope.
He does nothing.
Bones Highland is a nice piece. KCP is a nice piece. That's about it. So
But they're only because Denver don't have nothing.
right. Okay, so
Bones Highland will ride the bench on the Lakers. Oh, okay, fell for the wrong team.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe pick a different team.
But
No, but
he's not doing nothing consistently on the Nuggets. But enough of the Nuggets. They're mid, bro.
yeah, they are mid. I'll give
They
you
were the
that.
sixth seed last year. You can say because of no Jamal Murray or whatever, but I don't know why people think that's like the return of the Mac or something. Like,
He's had moments this season that get you to jump out of your seat, but they've just been moments. You know, you haven't really seen it on a consistent level. Maybe he's just not ready yet. And it is still early. I mean, they're only what 25, 30 games in,
would you
if
take
that.
Desmond Bain or Jamal Murray?
Desmond Bain,
Would you take Mikael Bridges or Desmond Bain? I mean, would you take Mikael Bridges or Jamal Murray?
Mikal Bridges. Both those guys you named play really good defense and they hit their shots.
Would you take I mean, CJ McCollum, Jamal Murray,
Probably CJ. Would you take Simons or Murray?
Simons.
Simons just had 45 the other night against, was it Denver? No, it wasn't Denver. I forget who they played, but he just had
Utah.
45. Utah, yeah.
Would you take De'Aaron Fox or Jamal Murray?
Man, that's a no-brainer.
Right. Would you take Andrew Wiggins or Jamal Murray?
Nah, I would take Wiggs.
Would you take
Shit, I'll take Russell Westbrook over Jamal Murray right
Nah,
now.
man, that's what I'm saying. So that's just what I meant. Whereas I don't see a shift in the dynamic of that team, and I mean he could prove us all wrong, but I haven't seen it in these 25 games.
Fair enough.
So yeah, but yeah, Denver's mid, bro. It's all good. Memphis. If Denver's mid and Memphis has the same record as them, what's that
Who's
make
the
Memphis?
imposter?
Honest, man. I think we talked about this before the season started.
We
You,
definitely did.
yeah, you talked about I forget what your phrase was, coming back to reality or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, just falling back to earth, like back to with everybody else and the rest of them. I knew Memphis wasn't going to be no second seed. I knew that was crazy. Like, that was not like they were a second seed, but they weren't like a legit second seed. You know what I mean? Like, you not like Minnesota took them, what, 6 games? And that was before the Gobert trade, where they had a lot deeper roster. But
Hmm.
yeah, as good as they were, for me, I don't think they're ready yet. We talk about teams still needing growing pains, like New Orleans has to
Hmm.
go through that. I'm sure they will, but I think I like the Pelicans more than I like the Grizzlies, to be honest with you.
Yeah, bro. Like you mentioned, 8-2 in the last 10. The Pelicans, right?
Yeah, 8-2 in the last 10. No Ingram for
The
like 9 of
Grizzlies
those
are five
games.
and five.
Yeah, and I believe Jaw's been a little crippled with his ankle.
Honestly, bro, I don't think he's missed games.
Now I don't think he's missed games, but
Oh,
he's
well,
been he's been a little injured, right? A little hurt.
if you're on the court, you're on the court.
So played and started 20 games.
They're 14-9. Okay, so
Missed a handful, like 5.
five. Well, no, 4 games. No,
3
3 games.
games. Yeah, 3 games he's missed. I mean, his player efficiency rating, if we want to get technical, is 26. Desmond Bain, who you mentioned earlier, his is 23,
I think
and
he's missed a lot of games.
Desmond Bain's only played 12 out of 23, so he's missed half their games.
9 games, yeah.
So they struggle more when Desmond Bain sits as opposed to John Morant sitting. Because I remember when he sat last season, they were like fucking 18-2 or some shit. It was
Mm,
crazy. So
which you
Memphis
probably
is
don't want to
the
say if Ja didn't get hurt.
yeah, Memphis is the epitome of like I'm not really taking them too serious. I think I like Sacramento more right now than Memphis as well. Sacramento and New Orleans, I would put higher than Memphis, higher than
Sacramento,
Denver.
they got a championship coach. You know what I'm saying? They got a coach that coached Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and Steph Curry.
Yeah, he got the cachet for sure. Shout
You
out
know,
Mike Brown, man.
shout
I
out to
met
Mike
Mike
Brown. You met
Brown.
him as well?
I met Mike Brown in 2006, or was
Hmm.
it 2000? No, it was 2006, 2007. It was like springtime. It had to be 2007. So it was actually the year they went to the finals. I was 8 years old and I went to a game, and I
Oh,
sat
the
next. I
Cavs.
sat close to. Yeah, I used to live in Cleveland, so I sat close to um the locker room where they came out, and I was giving high fives. I remember Mike Brown stopped and talked to me and my mom. And that was pretty dope. Like he didn't have to do that. So shout out to Mike Brown, bro. He's a real down to earth dude, and he's funny as hell. If you watch his interviews and if you keep up with Mike Brown, he's a really fun guy to be around. He's got, I mean, Sacramento hasn't made the playoffs, bro, since 2004. I mean, think about that. Like I was
Hmm.
5 years old, bro, the last time this team made the playoffs. So for
Yeah.
them to be this good, I mean, we talk about light the beam. I don't know if you saw the video, bro. They were playing the Clippers in
Hmm.
LA, and the chant started out "Light the Beam" for the Kings in LA.
Yeah, I know. They started that and they played us and took an L and had to reschedule.
Yeah,
And then they finally beat us and did it, I think. No, you already know, bro. I'm Team Mike Brown. He led our defense the last, couple of years. And obviously when we finally get healthy, we were the best defensive team. Sacramento, that's dope. That light the beam is hard. That reminds me of like some like X-Men, Ninja Turtle stuff, like super dope. Sacramento's balling. I mean, it's crazy because all the, like you said, it's what? It's you're 5 games back. The Lakers are 5 games back from first place, so anything can change very quickly. But
definitely.
Sacramento's still right there in the mix, and they're
I
playing
mean, they
good basketball.
dropped. We know the Nets don't really. They're not obviously known for defense, but I think they dropped like 157 on the Nets a couple of weeks ago
I
on
could
national
definitely see
television.
the Kings for sure making the play in at worst.
Right, like worst case scenario, there'll be a playing
Yeah,
team.
because let's see how many teams have to. It's 5 teams that don't make it. So Timberwolves, Thunder, Rockets, Spurs, Jazz. That's 4. All they have to do is not be the fifth team after the Thunder, Rockets, Spurs, and Jazz.
I hate to say it, but if Paul George and Kawhi don't play enough games, that 15 could probably be the Clippers.
Right? Yeah. I mean,
Because
and
they're
it's
13-11. I mean, it sucks to say because I thought they were really good coming into this season. Thought they had a really deep team, well coached, etc. I mean, they're 13-11, still 2 games over 500, but I mean, they just lost to the Kings 123-96. You
I
look at
won't
some of
say
these
it.
L's, it's just ugly. I mean,
I won't say it sucks to say because their success rides on those two guys, and they were a playing team last year, and they didn't have them. So if teams got better, all it does is push them down. You know what I mean?
I feel you. I just think it sucks to say because they're
They
not
should be good,
they
but
yeah, like they should
those
be
two guys'
good.
fault. Like,
Even without them though, they should be good. Like they should be
no,
500 or above,
they are
and they
still.
are, but
Yeah,
it's like they're not
it's
they're
not
not
their
losing by
fault that the other
40.
teams got better though.
That's
You gotta
fair.
think the other teams got better that push them out. If we were to say that, who would push them out? It would be your Lakers and the Blazers and the
The
Kings
Kings.
and the Pelicans. It would be those four teams because everyone else had made the playoffs last year. So I mean, but I definitely feel you, but I'm not I don't have no
Like
sympathy
the Clippers are built to contend.
for Kawhi Leonard and Paul George staying injured. That's crazy to me.
I just hate to see it. Like PG a lot of games missed 18 out of like 23, I think, or something like that.
What if they come back in January?
It could be too late.
Nah, Celtics showed up in January and
Man, the Celtics had Ime Udoka right there, man. He had them. I mean, Ty Lue is just as good, if not a better coach than
just as good. He's a better
Udoka.
coach.
Right, but you're in the Western Conference. You're sharing the building with the Lakers. The Kings are not fucking around. The Warriors just won the chip. The Suns are hungry. The Mavericks. Nobody wants to see Dallas. Nobody wants to see Luca, more specifically. Um, Denver's mid. Portland is going to get Dame back. Do you like? Let me ask you this: who do you like more? Like, who do you trust more from now until January if their health is like pretty similar? Like Kawhi, PG, and Dame. Like let's say they all miss like the same amount of games. Who's going to come out with a better record come January if that's when they come back? Would it be Portland or would it be LA?
Man, they're literally dead even.
Right.
It would depend who they play. It literally depend on their schedule because their last Clippers are 5-5 in their last 10. Portland's 3-7. They they're both 500 on the road and at home. They're both
They're
13 and
like
11.
it's literally like an apple and an apple. Like which
Clippers just lost to, the Blazers just won to. It would really depend on their schedule. Um, but I think Portland might get out of get out of it by hair on their chin because I think they have more
Simons.
dynamic more dynamic
Yeah, you got
offense.
Simons. You got my boy Jeremy
Josh
Grant,
Hart, Jeremy
Josh
Grant.
Hart. You still got Nurkic. The Clippers, it's
Hmm.
like you got a whole bunch of guys that are capable of being starters that are, role players, but you
Hmm.
don't have like an alpha, you know. And if it's Reggie Jackson, it's only going to get you so far.
Hmm.
So I agree with you on that for sure.
Like the Portland can still win in their home gym. Nobody's worried about the Clippers. You go in the Clippers gym, you're still you, you go in Portland's gym. It's you still have to win. You still have to beat that team. Clippers are just I think they just started off strong while till Paul George got hurt, and then they started losing. But
I agree.
I'll take Portland. It would definitely depend on their schedule, like who they're playing though. I'll still go with Portland. So realistically though, let's talk about these Lakers. How do you see them You know what I'm saying? Let's run off these next, what, 10
Yeah, I was
games.
looking at the schedule right now, and I remember like a couple of weeks ago, I saw their next like 5 to 10 games, and I was a little bit worried. I was like, damn, like this is not gonna look good. But unbeknownst, they have proven me
Because I remember
to this
before the
point.
season started, I was trying to convince you that they were going to be good. You swore up and down that the Lakers aren't shit.
Bro, I remember like 3, 4 episodes ago, Will and I were talking about like they need to make a trade or I'm not watching no more. Like I'm just not gonna watch this shit.
Like, I don't understand what changed.
Just
So help me out.
availability. I think the biggest thing was availability. Everybody's available with some exceptions. I think Anthony Davis, like you said, it starts and ends with Anthony Davis.
Hmm.
He's shown that he's heard the noise. We call him. I wrote down a couple of punchlines here. So they've been called him street clothes, day to day Davis, ADNP. I mean, I haven't heard that one. That's good. Yeah, I mean it's really that's the biggest thing that stands out to me. Like you look at the W's, Wizards, Bucks, Blazers, we averaged 130 over those past 3 games. Anthony Davis having crazy games, obviously, in each of those ones. We lost a tight one to the Pacers, 116, 115. I remember we saw that. We were talking about that game winner by the rookie. But
Hmm.
that game, we were winning by 16, 14 to 16 points. We lose that game to Phoenix without LeBron, 115, 105. Anthony Davis has a great game. It really all started, I want to say, damn near a month ago, almost a month ago, November 13th against Brooklyn on a Sunday night. Anthony Davis, really sparked the life into the Lakers. I mean, you look
And
at their
I would think that
next.
was a good win for
That
sure.
was a tone-setting win. Like we needed that win. He took care of business, laid out the blueprint for how to play moving forward. We got Cleveland on Tuesday, and then we have Toronto the next day on Wednesday. So one of those two is definitely going to be an L.
Would you go back
Friday,
to back?
yeah, and then
Mm-hmm.
Friday. So we have 3 games in 4 days in this road
Mm-hmm.
trip. So we have Cleveland, Toronto, and Philly, and then we have Detroit, and then the road trip's over, and we come home and play the Celtics on the 13th. So it's
So,
gonna
what do you
be.
say that out of those, how many games? That one, two, three, four, 5 games?
I
What
think
would
we'll
you
get the
predict?
Cleveland. I think we'll get the Cleveland game because we lost earlier this season, and I know LeBron does not like losing to Cleveland
You lost to the
ever in
Cavs
his
earlier
career.
in the season.
Yeah, we did. It was a blowout. And then
I remember that one.
Toronto's the second of a back to back. Toronto's a really good team. I could see them taking the Lakers down, but when I think
Isn't
about
the
their
Cavs a really good
bigs,
team?
yeah, they are, and they just lost to the Knicks.
The Cavs
Um,
only, there's only two teams in the NBA that have one loss at home, and the Cavs are one of those teams.
the Cavs actually have the most um, double digit wins as well. I think they have like the
It's in
most.
Cleveland, and they only have one loss in the
Yeah, but
Rocket
that's
Mortgage
that's not gonna
Fieldhouse.
be that's not gonna be a an away game for LeBron. You know what I mean? Like I'm expecting LeBron to have a big game, like another like 35, 40 point game,
Okay,
similar to
got
what he
you.
did against San Antonio with all those 3 pointers.
Mm,
Don't get me wrong, I'm expecting Cleveland to show up too, but they
yeah,
just took an
Mobley
L
gonna
today.
ball on 80.
Mobley gonna get put down by AD, but we'll
That's
see.
because Donovan Mitchell
He does.
shot
Donovan Mitchell
terrible.
takes up a whole bunch of usage, but I look
I'm
at
talking
this
about
road
their loss
trip.
to the Knicks. I think
Oh, the one
Donovan Mitchell
tonight.
played terrible. Yeah.
Let's see. So last night,
Oh, he had
good
23 points.
Cleveland,
Eh,
23, 5 and 4, and it looks like he shot.
I thought, let's
He
see.
shot
He
eight
wasn't
of
that bad.
22 from the
Yeah.
field, 2 of 11 from three.
Mm-mm-mm.
I mean, him and Garland combined to make 13 out of 40 shots, so that's not gonna get it done. So shout out to New York getting that one
Shout out to
done.
the Knicks. Okay, and then you said you got Toronto.
Yeah, I see that one being an L. I see the Philly game could be a dub because Embiid is playing. There's no Harden still. I
Harden's
could
back
see
on
us winning
Monday.
that game.
Harden's back tomorrow.
Really? Yeah, you have Harden on your fantasy team, don't you?
Hmm.
Hope
Yeah,
I
he's
do
back
not see you
tomorrow.
next week.
No, I don't play that.
Okay, so let's say Cavs W, Raptors L. Let's say, for the sake of argument, Sixers W
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
Pistons
Stand on that. Okay.
W. Okay, and then the biggest game is going to be against the Celtics. A month from that game that I said I think set the tone earlier,
Hmm.
November 13th against the Nets. So December 13th, we're going to be playing the Celtics in LA.
Hmm.
And obviously, the Celtics are the best team
Man,
in the East right now. So this will be huge to set the rest of the tone for the rest of the season. And it
we gonna beat
could
them?
theoretically, if we win, or excuse me, if we drop that one game to Toronto on the back to back, we'll be at 13 losses. If we get those dubs, we'll be 14, 13. So be over
Above
500.
500.
Yeah.
Hey, so y'all beat the? Do you say you beat the Celtics?
Oh, man. I think so. I think nobody can hold AD on that front court.
Right,
I
right,
think he
right.
eats. I think Westbrook plays really well still. Braun is Braun. Knock on wood, nothing goes bad from here to then.
What about him trying to guard Tatum?
Who, Braun?
AD. AD has to play defense too.
Oh, we're not putting AD on Tatum.
Oh, then who you put on?
It's a good question. I'd probably put Troy Brown, probably be the best bet. I mean, you're not going to stop Tatum. You can try to slow him down, make it harder for him. Probably Troy Brown, possibly Wenyan Gabriel, I think would be a good matchup on Tatum.
Hmm.
But definitely not AD. AD needs to be down low, feasting. Um, Man, Russell Westbrook's been looking good, bro. 15 assists tonight.
No, I don't want to hear it.
15. I called for
I
this
don't
man's
want to hear it.
career. I called for him to be out, and I regret it because
I don't want to hear it.
I didn't think you got to admit you didn't think he was capable of
No,
doing
bro. I
this
was
either.
the main one telling you guys.
Nobody saw this
No,
coming, bro.
me,
Nobody.
I was the main one saying it. We're not doing this Westbrook slander. Westbrook
How
just had
could
a
you have
ball
anticipated this happening based off of his
because
history, which
Russell
is just
Westbrook.
crazy? Like nobody expected this to happen. Nobody.
It's Russell Westbrook.
I
All he had to do
promise
was
you.
get from under Frank Vogel's non-basketball playing self.
Like I promise you, even Darvin Ham is surprised right now. As great as he is, and as great as his plan has been to get Westbrook back to this
Mm-mm.
form, I bet he's even surprised of how well it's worked out.
So let me ask you this: what we're talking about assists. So if I pass you the ball, the person has to score for this assist to count. It's not like all of a sudden his passes make you score easier. No, the person catching the ball is finally scoring. Anthony Davis. And Westbrook is still playing the exact same way. The only difference is
No,
the rest of the team's actually
he's
playing good.
playing very, very secure and slow and steady and in control. Like he's
Well, yeah,
not out of
that's Darvin
control.
Ham's system, though. It's not Frank
I
Vogel's
don't know.
throwing a gun shenanigans.
I've never seen Russ play like this, to
I
be
mean, he's
honest with
definitely
you.
playing
And I've
better.
watched him my whole career, like his whole
He's
career.
definitely playing better, but it's not.
It's like he's thinking the game more. Like
It's
he's
what he's.
not.
It's what's supposed to happen when you're a veteran.
That's the
Thinking
thing.
the
That's what I've talked about with you and with Will. Is like I'm like I can never see him based off of his history. I can never see him transitioning gracefully into that role. And here we are. You know. So shout out to Russell Westbrook, man. I just can't get enough of it, man.
game.
Why not?
I need that.
Why not?
And then y'all play. Who y'all play after the Celtics? The big bad Nuggets. Ooh. Yeah, it's looking scary hours.
That's gonna be a dub because we lost that one game earlier this season in LA, and then we got our first dub actually on the road in Denver. So I think we're gonna make up for that home loss that we fumbled to Denver and move up to 2-1 on the season against them. but that's
Then y'all
just
got
me.
the Wizards. That's easy.
Dub.
Then you got to play the Big Bad Suns again.
Man, shout out to Chris Paul.
Will he be back? He hasn't even played yet. It's been Devin Booker show.
Man, Chris Paul got to beat the Kim Kardashian allegations before he come back to
Dog,
Phoenix.
that's so crazy.
So
Yeah, that's random. Kanye West is crazy. Then you got the Kings,
should be a good game. I like Sabonis
Mavericks.
and AD matching up.
I'll play the Mavericks on Christmas.
Oh, that's lunch.
Oh,
That's
then you
lunch,
got the
bro. That's
Mavericks.
ain't nobody scared of Dallas, bro. Nobody wants to play Luca. That's it. But they want to play Dallas. They want to match up against that team. They
So
just don't want to
the
look at Luca.
so the LeBron fixes in again, and we get the sorriest team on Christmas Day, so we can keep our record good.
Sorriest team.
I mean, who won? It's the Mavericks, right?
If I'm not mistaken,
How random is the Lakers and Mavericks on Christmas Day?
I mean it's
There's no
it's star
history.
against star. That's pretty much it. Protege versus teacher, I guess. I don't know. Former
I
coach
guess.
against his former team. I'm not sure, but how
Um,
I just lost my train of thought. I was
should
gonna
be
ask you something
Suns
and I
versus
forgot.
Mavericks on Christmas.
That would have been nice. Who are the Suns playing?
That's a good question.
Are they even playing on Christmas?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I won't say definitely. Let me see. I just had Christmas Day games up.
Pelicans, maybe?
I have it right here. Why did I just lose it? Oh yeah, they play the Nuggets.
The Nuggets. That's the MVP though. That's reigning
Right.
two-time MVP. You gotta have him on Christmas.
Yeah, I suppose. And then I think the other Christmas games is what did we just say? Why is my computer being so janky?
We don't have the Knicks playing on Christmas, right? It's the first time in a couple of years.
Thank God.
Yeah, they're
All right,
just
here we
taking
can
up a
finally
spot.
get
Oh
we
wow,
can get
actually
a
they
news.
are playing the
Yeah.
Sixers. And the
Yeah, New
Celtics are
York
playing the Bucks.
New York is always gonna play because of the fan base. Sell out the
Right.
Garden and the media and the hoopla. It's New York City, Times Square. They have parades.
First game always 9 o'clock.
That's 9 in the morning. That's good for the city.
But
LA
that's
Mavs.
12 Eastern, right? It's 9 our
Yeah.
time.
Oh
West
well,
Coast.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Right.
guess yeah for them. It's new. Still, that's still midday matinee.
But we got to cap off Christmas with Suns and Nuggets.
Yeah, I won't be watching it.
Pretty mid.
We'll get our dub and then I'll be through. Hang out with the kids. Bucks, Celtics. Man, I don't see nobody beating the Celtics.
You don't see the Bucks beating the Celtics?
Nah.
I don't know. I think I could see Milwaukee winning that one.
Milwaukee just lost to y'all.
Yeah, but Middleton just came back. Like, you give him a couple more weeks, he'll be in better form. Brooke Lopez is the favorite for Defensive Player of the Year right now. If
Bro, like
he
what,
keeps
multiple
playing,
games with 6 blocks?
yeah, he's been going crazy. If he keeps playing this way, he'll be an All Star for sure.
Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday, we already know how I feel about Drew.
I got Brook Lopez on my fantasy. Yeah, he's balling.
Shout out to Brooke, man. And I think Robin is on the Cavs, if I'm not mistaken. His twin
Robin
brother.
Lopez?
hmm
Yeah, he plays for the
He
Cavs.
does his thing coming off the bench for Cleveland.
So who do you like on those Christmas games? Give us your way too early
Just
predictions.
real quick, yeah, just looking at them first glance, I say Lakers dub, Sixers easy dub, like it's way too easy.
Oh, let me look
Um,
at who they're playing. I'm tripping. Okay, okay,
Bucks.
okay.
I can see the Celtics beating the Bucks, especially because it's in Boston. But I
Mm.
also wouldn't be surprised if Milwaukee won. Grizz Warriors, I'm gonna leave that up to you and Will. I don't want to even speak on that because I don't want to interrupt the uh the friendly wager y'all got going on
Nah,
right
you got
now.
it, bro. Who go first? Go first.
Man, if we're being honest, bro, After all the shit I've just talked about Memphis, I think the Dubs gonna take that one on Christmas because we're talking about Christmas in the Bay. Man, it's tough, bro. Like it's tough because this is the game that Ja gets up for, right? Like this is the
Right.
game that Ja can drop like 45, 50. But at the same time, I don't know. Like I don't really remember Steph having crazy Christmas games.
We only lost one game at home,
And that
by the
was
way.
to who?
It was to Denver. Go freaking figure. Anyways, nah, it's a team unit over here. We don't need a single hero. So Ja can do it all he wants. Wiggins gonna ball, Clay's gonna ball, Steph's gonna ball, Jordan Poole's gonna ball. Um, they're gonna blow him out. It's gonna be simple. But I know it's fun to go for the Grizzlies, so I ain't tripping.
I could see the Warriors winning that game, but I'm gonna be rooting for Memphis. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
And Suns Nuggets, Suns should easily handle that.
That's funny. It's in Denver too. Hilarious.
Uh,
Phoenix, poor Phoenix. How's Denver host a freaking Christmas game? That's terrible.
and that's the late game too. So
Brooklyn is not even playing on
yeah,
Christmas.
that had me pretty messed up. But I guess that's what you could expect after the type of off-season drama that they had. You know, they didn't even know if they're gonna have KD at the time they're making the schedule. So I understand.
Rudy Gobert is not playing on Christmas.
Boo hoo.
Talk to me about that, man. I think we skipped over that. I think you have
Yeah,
some
we
good
kind
insight.
of we kind of glanced over Minnesota in the beginning of the episode, but
Mm,
my hopes were a little bit higher for them. I guess I kind of got caught up in the Western Conference in the off season, and I didn't realize that somebody got to lose, right? Like somebody's gonna be a bottom feeder. Not everybody can win, and it looks like Minnesota is that team that just not ready as far as like they don't move the ball very well. D'Angelo Russell's been a really big disappointment. Gobert's obviously been a disappointment next to Cat. It's bad when you give up everything you have for a player and the player ends up looking better, or excuse me, the team ends up looking better without said player on the floor. You know what I mean? Because when they only have like just Cat, like for example, if they just have just Cat on the floor as their only like big man, quote unquote,
hmm
and you have Gobert on the bench, I don't know what the numbers are specifically, but they just look better. Like the team just works better, the offense is better. I think Anthony Edwards himself even said that he plays a lot better with the smaller lineup, and it's harder for him to get shots up and get the shots he wants, having those two trees down low. So that, they probably got a little bit too ahead of themselves. They tasted that, that playoff taste last season for the first time. They had a play-in championship, and they pulled a trigger on a deal that just should not have been made, in my opinion, looking back on it. But hindsight's 2020. But why don't you talk to me, Quez? You're the prodigy. You're the one that saw this coming. You're the prophet that saw Minnesota crashing and burning before we could even start the season. So talk to me about
Man,
Minnesota.
it only boils down to one player, and it's the player that they traded the house for. Um,
So you putting this on Gobert.
boggles my mind. I don't understand how he has these defensive player awards. Because if you go back to the episode, I strictly said that's the man I want guarding me. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Switch, come here, and we're going to town every day, all day long, pick and rolls on whoever Gobert is guarding. And if not, oh no, they're playing good defense. We can't get him. All right, we'll shift the ball to the other side, and now you got Carl Anthony Towns on an island. That's a recipe for disaster. Then you go on the other side of the court, you pass Gobert the ball. What happens? He looks at it, he passes it back. Like
Can't
you're
do
wasting the
nothing,
shot
bro.
clock. He's
Cannot do
doing nothing.
anything.
He gives you zero offense. So that's why I blame it on him. Made no sense. He was sorry with the Jazz, sorry with the Timberwolves.
Somewhere Donovan Mitchell's going. I told y'all so.
I told you, so. I didn't know how he was winning those DPOYs. It made no sense because
I mean, the
all you ever
team.
wanted
It
to
had to
do,
be the team. You know, that was the
all you
reason
ever
why.
wanted to do, is get the switch on Gobert.
He's a really good team defender if the team's built the right way. But as far as like individual defense, like you said,
Mm.
it's barbecue chicken.
Yeah, and then once I really started paying attention to him, when I watched Steph Curry put him um, in the blender and they did the salsa, my salsa, my salsa, and I started looking. I was like, bro, this dude is missing layups. Like you can't even give him the ball on the Baja to do a turnaround hook. So Timberwolves, they have good players. So for starts, it's the Rudy Gobert. This is just a waste of space, a waste of player, and got rid of a lot of talent. After that, Carl Anthony Towns, Carl Anthony Towns can be your best player. Going back to what I spoke about, DeMar DeRozan, you have a leader. He doesn't have leadership mentality. He doesn't have dog in him to do anything consistently, and he doesn't have, I guess, dog and the will to like just win a game, put you on his back. He wants to play outside of himself and shoot threes for whatever reason when you're 9'9". So then your only option is Anthony Edwards, and he's still young.
I was
He
gonna
has
say
it, but he's
that
still
was gonna be
young,
my
bro.
next question. Like similar to our conversation on Chicago, like I said earlier, if Levine can't, or excuse me, if Demar can't be that guy, can it be Levine? You say no. Okay, if Cat can't be that guy, can it be Ant?
I say yes with Ant. Um, he's just still young, and he just has to have that opportunity, and he's showing it in spurts,
The opportunity
but
is
not
now, right? Because
consistency.
Cat's
Yeah,
not
the
on the
opportunity is
team,
now.
right?
And um, so when did Cat get hurt?
Maybe like 4 or 5 days ago.
Gotcha. And they beat the Grizzlies. They lost to the um Thunder. So they're 1-1.
Anthony Edwards averaging 23, 5 and 4.
Yeah. The reason why I say yes over Anthony Edwards is for one, there's a reason why he was the number one overall pick. He has to be that guy. He has that potential. He's shown that he wants to be the man. Um, I guess Zach Levine. I don't know if he's ever shown he wanted to be man. I guess he never had the opportunity playing with the Sario Timberwolves, and then I guess going to the Bulls, he was showing he wanted to be like you mentioned. He did make that All Star. I stand corrected on that.
He was
And then
definitely like a baby when he was
yeah,
in
getting
Minnesota.
getting DeRozan, yes, did hold him back. But Timberwolves just gave up a lot to get. I mean, they gave up Patrick Beverly. Like they gave up a lot, man. How you trade away Beverly? So that's that with Timberwolves. If they can find a way, it's crazy because it's like you gave up the house for Gobert, and it's like you got to turn around and trade him. It's not a good look, but it is what it is.
Gave up the house for Jimmy Butler. Where's he at?
They gave up the house for Jimmy Butler,
I mean, Zach Levine was in that deal.
then they gave up the freaking mansion.
They
The,
gave up
the
everything for Rudy Gobert. Yeah,
yeah, well, they gave up like 9 picks. Like, they're
they
gonna be nothing.
they are the true villain of Durant getting traded, of that falling through. Because if they don't make that deal, Brooklyn probably gets a deal done with another team, like a realistic deal, not some crazy like we want 10 picks or three
Because
20 plus per
nobody
game
wants Gobert,
scorers
bro.
or I mean that's not entirely true. Like
Name a
there's some
team.
teams there's some teams that could benefit with Gobert. Like I said, Chicago would take Gobert and they could get some use out of him for sure.
What help does he bring them? They can't
Interior
score the
defense.
basketball. They can't score the basketball.
Chicago.
Chicago.
I mean, you got Boost, you got DeMar, you got Levine, you got
and they can't score,
Williams,
so they need scoring.
or
Rudy
maybe they
Gobert's
just
not bringing
need
scoring.
they just need more defense, so they don't have to, play as much defense, and they can score easier. Maybe I don't know.
He doesn't even play defense though. We just talked about how sorry the defense is when he's on the court.
All right, but he got to do something. It's not like he's just out there running up and down.
He is. He's a Frenchman. That's
I
exactly what
mean,
he's doing.
his
He's taking up
numbers.
space.
Let's look at his
Look
numbers so
at
we
him.
can get a little bit more specific for the
Yeah,
audience.
let's check it out. Help.
So let's look at
Um,
Minnesota Timberwolves. Look at stats, player stats, and let's take a look at Rudy Gobert. He's played 21 games on the season. He is averaging
13
a
and
whopping
11.
13 and 11, 65% from the field, 71% from the free throw line, 1.3 blocks, and almost a steal at 0.7. 3 personal fouls and about 2 turnovers a game, which is a little bit concerning considering he doesn't really get the ball that much. His usage rate is 15.4%. PER is about 22, so it's not terrible. I mean, he's not like trash, you know what I mean? Like he's not like
Mhm.
absolutely non-existent because he's still putting up something, but as far as his fit with this team, I mean, the basketball operation is just completely missed in terms of this team together because they look a lot better with him off the floor.
Yeah, let's see. He was. He went like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He went like 7 games in a row at negative, -10, -14, -13, -6, -9, inactive, inactive, -13. I guess. Let's see. What was he doing during those games? He was scoring at 25 one game, 15, 16, 7, 7. Where's those rebounds? He had a 6 rebound game, 13. I mean, I'm gonna be either hard or not on you. And to be 9'9", you just gotta. There's no way you know what I'm saying. You can't just ball when you're that big. But maybe they should just trade Carl Anthony. Keep Gobert, keep Anthony Edwards. Trade Cat. You know what
For
Cat's gonna
what
do?
though?
I think you'll get more for Cat than you would for Gobert.
For
Cat,
sure.
Cat could go to
Yeah,
the
for sure.
Bulls.
For Vus?
Huh?
For
No.
Vucevic?
Hmm. I mean,
DeMar?
not the Wolves don't want Vucevic.
They don't want DeMar either. Not getting Levine back. I know I'm just nitpicking. You just a hypothetical trade, but
Right, I didn't think about that side of the trade.
they would probably send him to the East though. Maybe you send him somewhere like Detroit or like, Charlotte.
But who do you get back?
Just role players, picks.
Some of
Make up
Charlotte's
for
picks.
make up for just to get some picks back. I think they
Some of
gave away like
Detroit or Charlotte's
5.
picks. Detroit and Charlotte wouldn't be bad because of LaMelo and Cade.
Yeah, two ball handlers, create opportunities for him, make life a little bit more easier if he plays the right way. Like you said, he wants to be out on the perimeter, and he is the best. I'll give you that. He is the best, like perimeter shooting big man that we have in the NBA today, right?
Because he's the only one who cares about that.
I mean, Embiid.
Shit, I'll take Embiid all day long.
Oh, absolutely, but it's not a
I'll take
debate if.
Jokic too.
But they're not shooting like Cat though, like outside the paint.
Because they don't care to.
No, they do. They just can't do it the same
No, no.
level and same output
Because if he's doing
Cat
it,
does.
that makes it so what grand. I don't understand why the team isn't successful. Because
Like Embiid tries, but he's not that efficient.
Understandable about what you're saying about Embiid and Jokic, but I look on the other side of the spectrum, and I don't think Cat's doing anything so magnificent because the team can't win games, and he's not out here dropping 30. If you're shooting a tray ball, all it takes is two tray balls a quarter, and you're at 6, 12. Ooh, let's now. If you're at 24 points, bro, two tray balls a quarter.
I wish
Why
it
do you
was
think
as
Steph
easy
is
as
out
you
here
make it
averaging
sound.
30? This dude Steph will have like 2 points and then he'll just drop like 7 threes in a row. Ping, ping, ping. Next thing you know, he got fouled 2 times. Oh, we get 30 already. Call it a night.
Sometimes it's good to sit back and just realize how lucky you have it having the greatest shooter ever on your team. There's no shortage of shot making, right? You see it every single game. Shout out to Steph Curry, man.
Yeah, shout out to Steph, bro. There's no other 34-year-old balling like this,
Not
unless your
at
name's LeBron
his
James.
not at his height. I don't know any 6 feet players that played this well this late into the careers that Steph has played. I mean,
I don't know any other 34-year-olds that played this well, unless we're talking LeBron and Kobe, Michael Jordan,
that's it, right? That's it. MJ, LeBron,
Will
Kobe.
Chamberlain,
Yeah.
Tim Duncan. We're naming legends here. But back to Cat. Yeah, but shout out to Steph.
Would you guys want Cat?
Absolutely not.
No?
Mm, he does
The
zero
third
things.
Splash Brother missing?
Bricking, shooting up bricks. We don't need nothing but solid role players, and we kind of getting there. So honestly, we don't need too much. I mean, unless a role player that can really tip the scale and come in and know his duties immediately. Nah, we straight. We'll
I
see y'all in
like
a 7 game series.
I like what's his name? McDaniels in
Oh,
Minnesota. I
which
think
one?
he's a really
Oh,
good role player.
yeah,
He has a brother, right, that plays for
Hornets.
Hornets, yeah.
Yeah, because bro, let's break these Warriors down. First off, our starting five is the best starting five in the NBA. You can look it up. And then after that,
You got the worst bench in the NBA.
now we like middle of the pack. So, and yeah, I mean, and that's not good either.
You put
So
those
yeah,
two
we have one of the
combinations
worst.
together and
We're,
that's where your record
yeah,
comes
we're
from.
we're not that good, but we've gotten good over the last like 7 games, 7, 8 games. Probably around the same time y'all played the Nets. And that's only because of Kerr switching it up by bringing Draymond and Wiggins onto starting the second unit, second quarter and fourth quarter. But with what's his name, Jermichael Green, Dante DiVincenzo, Jordan Poole, and this kid Anthony Lamb, and then the other kid Jonathan Kaminga and Moses Moody, they come in and play solid. They're figuring it out. So it's like unless this person comes in and like for real makes an impact on the bench, it still plays that same style we play. Nah, we good. So like Carl Anthony Towns wouldn't do too much of nothing.
Have you changed
He wouldn't help
your
us at all.
have you changed your tune on Wiseman? Have you finally accepted that he's just trash?
Nah,
You still
cause
got hope?
I haven't seen him show me any trashness. Um,
Minus
I don't
35.
recall.
Plus minus 35 in 6 games
How
with
many
the Santa
games?
Cruz Warriors.
6. That's fine. 6 games. 6. We're still hollering about players that's been in the league for 6 years. So yeah, nah.
Okay, when is it too late? Like when is it like time to just give up, in your
When you're
opinion?
still playing bad and you've had multiple years of playing bad. So if you've had 2 years of playing bad, then yeah, it's time to start looking in the mirror.
So would you say like one more year?
He
Or
hasn't
you
had
need
a
to see
full
two
year of
more?
playing bad yet. So if he plays bad all this year, then yeah, we go one more year. Yeah, so it'd be all of this year and then all of next year. But this is year one. This is like rookie year because the first year we played, we had nothing but chumps who weren't playing the same warrior type basketball, and he was playing good. He was playing solid. He was cool. Then he got hurt, and then he didn't play all last year. And then here we are now. The role he was put into was just very very challenging, and it showed. And I mean, if you want to just give him the ball and go to work, he can do that. But that's not how you play with us. You gotta be able to set screens, dive, roll, DHOs, come back, crash the boards. Sprint to the other side of the
That's
court.
what I don't get. Like he can't do those things. You know what
No,
I mean?
bro.
Like the most basic things that you need to do in
Look,
basketball, like the intangibles, you can't do it.
mm-mm.
But you can
We're
go
talking
get a
about
bucket if we hand you off the ball. You know what I mean?
man.
It just makes no sense to
Bro,
me.
you played high school. What do you do in high school? All he did was play high school and played three games in college. And then last I checked, how many teams do that in the NBA?
So
Zero.
he's
Nobody.
not. He's
One.
just a
There's
bad
only one
pick.
one team that does what we're asking him to do in the NBA.
I think he was a bad pick, and I'm still gonna stand on that.
Well,
Like y'all
that's
could have
fine, but
had
I don't think
anybody
that.
else. I think would have fit better, and you guys would have got more out of him. He's a project. He's a long term project
Oh, timeout.
that I don't think is gonna
How
pay
many
off. I
in the
think you're just
NBA?
gonna waste time.
He's been in the NBA. This is his third year, right?
He was 2020, yeah,
This is his third year, right?
2020 draft, yeah.
So 3 years. Okay, so we take this year isn't done yet. Then last year he missed the whole year, right? We won a championship. His rookie season he got hurt. What do you mean we could have done better? What could we have done better? Went back to back? What could we have done better? Go
Could have got
win
a
back?
better. You could have got a better player. Is all I'm saying. Better
But
pick.
that's you're looking hindsight though. Hindsight's 2020. You're looking back saying, well, we could have did it after it's all said and done. But back then, what we needed was we need a big man, and so we drafted one. He got injured.
Uh,
We lost in the play-in. He didn't play. We won a championship, and now here we are.
you
But I
could have
feel like
got
he's
his
good.
kind of. You could have got like his type of player at like the fucking bottom of the first round, early second round.
And would have
Like you
been
could have got that kind of player from that pick.
but
You, you
what
you didn't have to
so
use a second overall pick on
that
that.
so
That's my
listen
biggest
how I
thing. Like
understand
he's
what you're
not a
saying.
number two guy. Like he's just not.
So I understand what you're saying. That's fine. Cute. So you're saying we could have got that type of impact from the bottom of the draft. All right. Would
Maybe
that
even
have
a better
would,
impact.
okay, would that have had us beat the Celtics in 5 games? Because he would have been available, that person, right? He would have helped us beat the Celtics in five.
Maybe
Or would
four.
four? All right, cool. We still have been champs. Or we can have this dude that has all the freaking talent in the world, stash him, keep working on him, and see what happens in 5 years. And have probably the Anthony Davis. We might have Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis. And
Man, if for some crazy reason that happens, we got to come back to this episode
we
and we
might
got to
have
air it
Anthony Davis
because
in 10 years.
that is
7 years
crazy. That
from
is
now, we got Anthony
blasphemous.
Davis. Steph
That is
Curry's
just.
retired.
I'm about to go
Listen,
crazy,
Steph
bro.
Curry's retired. Klay Thompson's retired. Draymond Green's retired. We're
What is this?
balling
A
with
minute or
Kaminga.
no? This is an hour 38 in. I'm definitely putting this out
We're
to the people.
balling with Kaminga. Jordan Poole mixing everybody up always. He's like 26 years old, mixing the whole NBA up. Kaminga's like 24, dunking on whoever. Moses Moody is strapped. He's like 24, draws, all draws. And we got the same Anthony Davis. He can shoot, grab rebounds, can block shots, can
I
pass the
can't
ball,
believe
he
what
can
I'm
run the
hearing.
floor, and we have him because he just was sitting in figuring out how to play basketball under the Warrior system for 3 years while we're winning championships. Or no, we got LaMelo Ball who needs to do it now. Hey, you
You
gotta
could,
come
bro. I
on,
gotta
man.
give it to you. You are impressive, my friend.
You
You
got
said
me
all
5
that.
years ahead.
You said all that with a straight face, dead
5 years ahead,
serious.
bro. It was a win-win for us.
Chess, not
We got a
checkers.
free draft get pick. Chestnut checkers, bro. Like We don't need Wiseman right now. Why do you think he's in the G League? We gonna be right there. You don't want nope. Listen, I know I'm always saying 'cause I'm gonna be biased, but I'm not afraid of no teams in a 7 game series with this same Warriors roster. Because, like you said, the luxury of having the best shooter, it feels amazing to go in the gym and know we got somebody that has to be compared to LeBron or Kobe or someone on our team. So we
That's
don't need
fair. I mean,
Wiseman, bro.
you can have that luxury, or you can have
Bro, but that luxury is
feeling
real.
once you have a player like of that caliber.
So that's the exact reason why we were able to draft Wiseman. We didn't need someone to come in and give us that feeling that Melo would have brought, that Anthony Edwards bring to the Timberwolves. You know what I'm saying? Or Trey Young brought to the Hawks, or Ja brought to the Grizzlies.
Man, I just think y'all would be.
We got Wiseman because we didn't need. Did you get what I'm saying? We did not need that type of player, but we
It's one
needed a
thing to
big
not
man.
need it, but you had the opportunity is my biggest thing. Like you could have, but you just were like, nah, let's just get this
Could have what?
guy. He did. I mean, you could have had who went after Wiseman in the draft. Let's look at some players really quick.
Let's
Besides
bring it.
Lamelo, because obviously we know Lamelo went um,
Third.
number 3, right? So 2020
So while you looking
NBA
up,
draft.
like I said, and we still got Wiggins, who's guess how old Wiggins is? He's 27. So guess what? He'll still be around for another 7 more years.
Okay, I'm gonna say a player, and you're gonna say who you'd rather have, basically him or Wiseman.
The answer's gonna be Wiseman.
Let me ask you first.
Okay, fine.
At the number 4 pick, Patrick Williams.
Wiseman. I don't even know who
All
Patrick
right,
Williams plays for. Oh yeah, the Bulls.
the Bulls. Okay. All right, let's go to the 12th pick. Tyrese Halliburton.
James Wiseman.
You're not serious, right?
The same answer for Lamelo Ball goes to Tyrese Halliburton. We already have Steph and Jordan Poole. How many basketballs there's there on the court? There's only one. Steph ain't going anywhere. Poole
Oh
isn't going
man,
anywhere, bro. Think about it. Poole is this Poole on our team does the same thing Lamelo and Halliburton does.
Sadiq Bey. You laugh at Sadiq Bey, but you don't laugh at James Wiseman. That's just funny to me. All right,
No,
R.J. Hampton.
time out. No, time out. Because I don't, it's like you're failing to realize the
Jaden
logic.
McDaniels.
It's like, are you acknowledge the
No,
logic, or
I
you
definitely I
fail
acknowledge
to
the logic, and I just don't agree with
realize
it.
it?
Like
How?
I just, for all the reasons I just mentioned, like you could have had
I'm
a better
agreeing
player,
with
the
it.
team could have been better. All right, let's say not. I won't agree with it, but I understand it. Like
Okay,
I
so time
get
out.
you.
Oh, I just broke down. You said the team could have been better. Look at my fingers. This is on camera. Play in championship now. How much better could we have gotten? Should have we went back to back? Made the playoffs? Beat the Celtics in four?
Maybe y'all would have made the playoffs.
Oh wow, man, dang, darn.
You don't think you had a shot to win 2021?
Oh, man, maybe if we would have had that player, maybe, but we don't know that. But
What if
guess
you
who
had
we do know?
Tyrese Maxey?
But guess who we do know? We have the player that has the closest skill set to Anthony Davis, and he's 21 years old, and he plays for the Warriors. What happens when he's 25?
The unfortunate reality is he also has Anthony Davis's mindset.
That's fine. Anthony Davis got a championship.
No, I'm talking
So
like
does James Wiseman.
post. I'm talking like post championship mindset. Like I just don't
What
see it,
mindset does
bro.
Wiseman have?
The mindset of I'm not that dude.
He don't need to be. He's gonna be Jordan Poole, J- Andrew
He's
Wiggins,
not that dude. Is what I'm saying. Like he's not that kind of
Jonathan
player.
Kaminga.
He's
He's
not
gonna
gonna
be
fit in, bro.
George Niang's back, bro.
I'll die on this
Dante
hill.
DiVincenzo,
I think Wiseman's not gonna be around for the next
bro.
couple of years.
Kevon Looney's 25 years old. We still gonna have Kevon.
He
Pump
plays his
faking
role
guys.
perfectly.
Pump faking guys.
Kevon Looney's perfect for
Right.
you
So
guys'
all
system.
Wiseman has to do is come off the bench and ball. but he has the same skill. He can dribble. He's 7'1". He can dribble. He can shoot. He can pass. He can rebound. He can block shots. He's athletic. He can run. He just has to learn the Warrior system. But he can do all those things. He just has to play basketball. Unfortunately, he didn't play college and he got injured his first year. We are, look at this. You see this? That says 2022. We're trying to repeat. We don't have time to coddle James Wiseman, but you can go be coddled in the G League. And we'll see you next year or whenever you're ready. And when he's ready, win win,
Oh
bro.
man.
Win win. But if we would have drafted LaMelo, LaMelo would have had to play, bro. LaMelo got his own sneakers. This dude, what? He pulls up in the Phantom with, Big Baller Brand was what? Nah, man. Steph Curry not going for none of that. We
Oh
didn't
man.
need none of that, bro. We literally, it's like when I drafted, it's like getting, when I got Triple J and put him on my bench, bro. I was like, watch this. He can just chill and everybody can
Hey,
talk and say he sucks, bro.
he been grinding, man. Shout out to Jaren Jackson Jr.
Now I got him on my fantasy team balling. That's all I'm saying, bro. I get everything you're saying as far as individual talent because you see other people progressing, but they're playing on losing teams. It's different when you gotta come in. When you play on a losing team, you get to make mistakes and figure your game out and go home and watch a whole game of losing, but the coach is showing you everything you could have did right better. That's not happening with us. Because if you get in the game and we start losing, you're sitting on the bench. Because we're trying to win, bro. This is a name a championship team that had the top 3 pick ever in history. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not normal where the team that's trying to win a championship literally got arguably the top 3 best players in that draft. That
All
person should
right.
be playing, but instead he doesn't have the luxury to play because we're not trying to lose. So you can't get in there and just stink it up because you're young and you're trying to figure it out. That's all I'm saying. And so I feel where you're coming from on what your expectations are, or if you're saying he's just not good or whatever, but that's not what we got him for. We got him for literally off of his potential. We didn't expect him to come
It's a
in and
dangerous game. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Like, I don't
we
think the
have
second
nothing to
overall
lose.
pick was something to do with that.
We don't have nothing to lose
Like,
though.
imagine you guys traded that pick.
But what do we have to lose? I
What do
understand
you
everything
mean?
you're saying,
It's a number two pick. You have a
but
lot to
all
lose.
but all that you're saying is like you said, what if we traded it away or it's a dangerous game? What result could we have gotten from no, listen. When you say traded away, you're thinking about getting a player that is gonna do what? Help us win the championship. When you say it's playing a dangerous game, is because you're wasted a pick and you could have got a player that could have did what? Help us win the championship. We did that, bro. We don't need James Wiseman. We didn't need that, bro. That was a luxury and just accept that reality. That's why Bob Myers, bro, that dude,
That's
that
not
GM is
wrong. You're not wrong. I mean,
yeah.
that's true, but at the same time, it's a number two pick. You know what I
We got
mean?
a
That could
number
have
two
been.
player, bro. He's just not ready to play with us yet.
I've not seen anything to even remotely make me think he's
You
a
mean,
number two
oh,
pick.
so you mean he's not playing on a scrub team taking L's? Is that what you're saying? Because,
He's not playing, period. And
bro,
when he is playing, he's playing bad, bad basketball.
and that's what all number 2 picks do. They suck.
I mean,
Anthony Edwards is getting salty on
historically,
the
number two picks are
Timberwolves.
not that very good, with the exception of Edwards and KD. But
Listen, let's just go to the draft.
uh,
Go ahead, pull the draft back up and tell me
nah,
why
I don't
these
want to
players.
because after I read it, I'm like, damn,
Listen,
these players fucking
sorry,
suck.
bro.
Yeah.
Listen, sorry, bro. LaMelo ain't played all year. Anthony Edwards is such a roller coaster. Who else was picked that you mentioned? Freaking Sadiq Bey. What the? Anyways, Tyrese Halliburton hmm. But we got the guards. Steph Curry, and we already had Jordan Poole. Um,
But Halliburton does something that those two can't
but
really
we
do.
but you didn't know that when it's time to draft, bro. When it's drafting, we did not know what Tyrese Halliburton is gonna do. This you
Nobody did. That's
expected
why he
him.
slid down so much.
No, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You have to think of projections based on what you saw, and at the end of the day, what we knew is Wiseman is athletic. He's 7'2". He can run the floor. He has skill. He has touch. He can handle the ball. He can shoot. So all we got to do is just groom that. Hopefully, the sooner the better. But
You
we're
make a
in no
good point.
rush.
My only issue was the pick being wasted on him, in my opinion. That was the only thing. I thought you could have flipped it and just got something that was well, but just better suited for
I
you in the short
understand, but
term.
that was
You know what I
the
mean? That's all.
that was it's all a gamble. But they saw something which
That would have
suited
been
to
a better gamble, though. You know what I mean? Like
no, because
y'all would have been in the playoffs, in my
who
opinion, if y'all had him. If y'all had flipped that pick for somebody else, or for one or two players, maybe.
that's hindsight though. We were there if the play-in didn't exist. We were a 7th seed. So when that draft happened, there was no play-in stuff. We was the 7th seed. Then play-in comes around and we don't make the playoffs. That's fine.
Maybe you
And
do.
yeah, but no one knows that. I'm just saying once we're unfolding reality after that pick was made. And we were playing with no fans. Like it was weird. We had no fans, a lot of COVID stuff going on. We had
Yeah, it
D'Angelo
was
Russell.
definitely a weird time.
Bro, we had D'Angelo Russell. Like, so I get what you're saying, but that's hindsight. I'm just saying the pick was genius because of the upside that you have with James Wiseman and his skill set. Because we don't need him now, but in 5 years,
So, in your opinion, it's a win-win
it's a
because you don't
win-win.
need him. You didn't need him to win the championship. You
Win,
got him
bro.
stashed away, working on his game, and when he's ready, he'll be ready, and you can come and benefit off him. If it doesn't work out, oh well, we won a championship anyways. We'll just, forfeit the
He
pick
played
and move
three
on.
games in college.
Bit
Like,
concerning, no?
no, it's not because it wasn't due to injury. It was due to like ineligibility because dude was putting money in his pockets, like Penny Hardaway or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
It
But
wasn't due to injury, but what I'm saying is you gotta understand like the number two pick on a normal team would have probably played 2 years of just whatever basketball, did whatever. Probably had some great games, probably had some sorry games, was fouling out, probably missing free throws, probably was dunking on people, and the team had 12 wins, 25 wins, 30 wins.
history, though, with number two picks or top picks that are big men, history is not very favorable.
Well, no, okay, we can speak on that real quick if you want to. I get what you're saying on that, man. I'm just saying as far as comparing a top pick, comparing this top pick to other top picks and expecting specific results because they'll just have they don't have the leash because the team that drafted them, they're nothing without that draft pick. The Charlotte Hornets are nothing without who they drafted. The Washington Wizards are nothing without who they drafted. The all the bottom teams that draft, the Pistons, they're nothing without whoever they drafted. The Blazers are not, all the bottom teams. Grizzlies when they got Ja. Pelicans are nothing without Zion. Um, et cetera, et cetera. You catch my drift. The Kings are nothing without De'Aaron Fox. They had to get Marvin Bagley because they were nothing. Whereas the Warriors were just literally imagine if LeBron's Cavaliers or Miami Heat or even these Lakers had the second pick, it wouldn't be to pick a player to win now.
Let
You pick a
me.
player for the future.
I'm gonna read off number two picks
Hmm.
going
Yeah,
back
that's
to the
crazy you say
year
that.
going back to the year 2000. Let's say '04 is a little bit too far. Let's do the last 10 years.
All
So
right, we'll
20.
go Darko, right? That's
Darko was
hmm,
03.
okay.
Emeka
You can also do
Okafor.
White.
2004.
Derek White.
2005, Marvin Williams, second overall
Yeah,
pick.
that was
2006,
crazy.
LaMarcus Aldridge was actually a good pick.
He had a good career.
Yeah, he had a great career. Kevin Durant, 2007. Enough said. Look at this, 2008. Michael Beasley, Miami Heat.
He's a
That
baller. That's
was
so crazy.
tough.
It was just his mental. That sucks. That's my guy.
2009. Yeah, shout out to Bees. 2009. Hassim Thabit, Memphis Grizzlies.
Hmm.
2010, it was Evan Turner. He's not a big man. 2011, Derek Williams, Minnesota, out the league. 2012, Kid Gilchrist, MJ's Bobcats, out the league. 2013, Oladipo. He's was, but his prime
Do you
was
have
to
Do you
go.
have all the draft picks pulled up?
I'm just looking at number two picks last 10 years.
Oh, okay.
Jabari Parker, 2014, out the league. D'Angelo Russell, snitch, traded from a championship team. 2016, Brandon Ingram.
I was getting ready to say that next.
Yeah,
Shout out
Brandon
to
Ingram,
Brandon. I
man.
got excited
He
once
he
he brought up
was
the Lakers.
he's the truth. Lakers went back to back number two. Lonzo Ball went number two, 2017.
Lakers went back to
Um,
back. That's 3 years in a row. Oh, who drafted D'Angelo Russell?
3 years in a row, actually.
Y'all were so sorry. I
So
remember
sorry.
those days.
Oh God.
I remember those
2018,
days.
2018, Marvin Bagley.
Turned into
2019,
the Kobe years. It was sad.
2019, John Morant, obviously. 2020, James Wiseman. 2021, Jalen Green.
Man, because I wanted to ask you, so what's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that? What stands
Yeah.
out to me? There's only been one, two, maybe legit big men drafted, and that was how many years ago? Like
Aldridge,
Aldridge in '06, and
KD.
Katie's not even a big man. That was '07. So history, just going based off of history, doesn't look very good. Doesn't look very promising. But I will give you this: none of these dudes were as young as Wiseman or had the cachet Wiseman had at the time. So that's the only two things I'd say that are got working for you. Other than that, I mean, they look like based off of this. I mean, it just looks bad. Like it's gonna fall in line with history. But I mean, we've been going back and forth on this for the past
I just want to
couple
say
of.
this real quick.
All right, let's see. Let's see. End it out here because we're
We'll end it
approaching
out.
2 hours.
And this is just all just gonna fall back on the thought process I kind of been saying.
Mhm.
All those players you named, those draft picks, those teams were sorry. That's why they drafted them. Sorry. Sorry. Like they were the bottom of the barrel. They drafted them.
The Pistons drafted Milicic. They won the championship the next year.
Yeah, I mean, there's outliers.
That's the
We're,
same thing as y'all.
yeah, we're
Same
willing.
exact thing.
Yeah, and guess who they overpassed to get him? Melo,
Mellow.
Dwayne Wade. Why? Because they were thinking future. We already got this. We need we need that anchor that's gonna be there future wise. Anyways, and then Milicic
How
killed him.
how have how great has Detroit been since that championship? By the way,
They were sorry.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, what are you saying on that though?
What I'm saying is that's pretty similar to y'all situation.
No,
You take this guy, don't play him the first year, you win a championship, develop him, G League. We'll bring him back when he's
no,
ready.
you're guessing because that's not what happened to Milicic. Milicic was out of the league the next season, and
No, he was
then
in for a couple more seasons. He didn't he wasn't out till like
he
'07,
was
'06,
sorry.
'07.
Milicic was sorry.
I mean, he was definitely sorry, but was Wiseman not sorry? I haven't seen anything great from Wiseman.
But Wiseman don't need to play. Milicic needed to play. They drafted him and needed him to play, bro.
Not
They don't.
really.
They needed him to play. That's why they got rid of him. It
All
ain't
I'm
like
saying is I see the similarities and history
nah.
often
That's
repeats
you're
itself.
going off a limb on that one. So like I was saying, or you know what? I'm not gonna say that. All right, we'll see. Um, Darko. That was just a freaking mistake. All those teams, sorry. And then I just wanted to say this because when you were going through naming all the number two draft picks, like like I said, all those players were able to just do whatever they wanted and be as sorry as they can be. If the team did good, they stayed around. If they were sorry and the team was sorry, they're nowhere to be found. Just how you looked up the number two picks for the last 10 years, I wanted you to just look at the top, like I was gonna say five, but you can just do three of the last however many years, like you just did, 20 years or whatever. And all those players are bums. I won't say all. You could probably name less than seven that are not good. I guarantee.
So you want me to look at the top 3 picks from the last 10 years?
How many years did you just do for the
I went
Eagles?
back to '04, so that's like what?
Yeah,
Damn
you
near
do the
20
top.
years,
Yeah, you could do the
18
top three
years.
picks. I guarantee it's gonna be like less than eight. It's probably gonna be like less than five, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I got one right here in front of me from the last 10 years. So 2013, we got Anthony Bennett, Victor Oladipo, Otto Porter Jr.
Next year.
Next year, we got Andrew Wiggins, Jabari Parker, and Joel Embiid. Year after
Hey,
that,
how's
we got Carl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell, Jalil Okafor.
so we're still at two.
2016, Ben Simmons, Brandon Ingram, Jalen Brown. That's a
Nice.
pretty good squad.
And I'm
2017,
only taking out of that. I'm really only taking um Jalen Brown and
Fred, nigga. I knew you was
Ben
gonna say
Ingram.
something about Ben. All right, that's fine. 2017, Markel Fultz, Lonzo Ball, Jason Tatum.
Right, five.
2018, DeAndre Ayton, Marvin Bagley, Luca.
Oh, seven.
2019, Zion, Ja, RJ, Barrett.
Nine. Not a
Yeah,
good RJ.
RJ's sorry as fuck. 2020, Ant, Wiseman, your boy, LaMelo.
Right, and that's 10 years, bro. So like, all those dudes took some time. They took some time, bro. The only ones you probably say that just came in there was
2021,
Luca.
Cade, Jalen Green, Evan Mobley,
Yeah, all those dudes need time, except for maybe Luca. Shoot, Evan Mobley.
Zion.
Maybe Jalen Brown, Zion. All the other guys,
Jalen Brown was definitely a project.
that was said maybe. I don't really remember his early years. The
He
Celtics were
was a
so
role
good.
player on the Celtics. They were finding their groove. I remember
Yeah,
20
that was
his draft class was
year before Tatum. Oh, and Tatum.
that was the year they went 73-9 actually. His draft
4 years.
class. So he came into the league when your boy KD hopped on the bandwagon.
Gotcha. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to nobody at that time. Definitely not the East. But all I was just saying is when you start looking at that, like you gotta give some players time.
Fair.
That's all I'm saying. And the only way they get time is by playing games. He just doesn't have that luxury with us. So he's gonna go to the G League, but he'll be back.
Hey man, time will tell, but we appreciate y'all sticking it out with us
Yeah,
thus
it was a
far.
long
Let's
episode,
let's
man.
give it up for Quez, man. That was a great soliloquy. I'm almost convinced that James Wiseman will be a great player one day, but we'll have to wait and see. The jury is out. Shout out to everybody, like I said, that's been listening
We
week by
appreciate
week.
y'all.
We are back. We are big bucket getters. You guys are big bucket listeners, and we appreciate y'all.
Hit
And
us in the
hopefully,
comments, man. Let us know what we
yeah, man, we got the videos up. Y'all can see our faces on YouTube, Spotify,
we
all that good
appreciate.
stuff. So, yeah, let
Hit
us
us in
know,
the
man.
comments. Let us
Feedback.
know what. Yeah, give us some feedback. What we could do better. What what we need to tone down. Give us
What
some
we what
topics
we're
to
missing
talk
out
about.
on? What are we not talking about that's going on in the league? I know every so often I listen to a pod and I'm like, damn, we forgot to talk about this or that. So let us know, man. We appreciate the feedback, the interactions, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, everything, you name it. Y'all have a great week ahead, and we will be back.